Sidekicks have officially been announced by Fortnite, and the first one we will be able to get will be in the Simpsons Battle Pass releasing here in a couple days. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the sidekicks we need, and this is going to be a mix of like some Fortnite original characters and some collab sidekicks I would love to see. Now, of course, this is just going to be my opinion, so be sure to let me know yours down in the comments below, because I'm sure I'm going to miss quite a bit of characters that could be sidekicks in Fortnite. If you enjoy my videos, be sure to use code TuneSpider in the Fortnite item shop to support me. And now let's get started. Alright, so first I'm going to start with some of the Fortnite original sidekicks that I would think would be pretty cool. And for starters, I gotta throw in Columbo. I would be very shocked and honestly disappointed if we didn't get Columbo as a sidekick at some point. I mean, for starters, everybody loves Columbo. He's adorable, and I think he'd just be a really cool pet running around with you. Next is Empress. So they mentioned that cats will be coming, and of course she was released as a back bling at one point, so I think it'd be pretty fun to get her into the game. Kitsune is another one. I love the color scheme, love the design. I think this would be really cool as a sidekick. The next one is Ramirez. Can't forget about this little guy. In my opinion, one of the most adorable pet back blings of all time, and I think he needs to be running around in the hamster wheel while he's your sidekick. The next is Scales. I'm not quite sure if the sidekicks will be able to fly next to us. I imagine they'll release something like that at some point, but if not, Scales could still walk around, but I would love to see this dragon pet as a sidekick. Then we got Dodger. Of course, I'm sure we're going to get quite a few dogs, but I would love to see the fox. I think that'd be really cool. Choppy, so we get an alien, and just kind of mixes up the type of sidekicks we'll get. And then next would be Camo. I'm pretty sure I saw a leak, or I saw some news that we will be getting this character as a sidekick, but I think it'd be really cool to see him as a sidekick. Now, before I move on to the collabs for sidekicks that I would love to see, I feel like I should mention what's already been teased. So we have a Peely dog, fish stick in a bowl, doggo the actual size of a pug, a raptor, and then we have another dog as well. So it looks like that's what's been confirmed so far, and we haven't heard anything about like any collab characters being sidekicks. So I think with the Simpsons season coming up, we should definitely get Santa's Little Helper and Snowball as sidekicks for the season. I don't think they'd be in the battle pass, but I would love to see them sold in the item shop, because I don't think they would really be great skins, but I think they'd be great for sidekicks. Then next is Crypto the dog. We have multiple Supermans in the game. I think it's time we get Crypto. Then of course we also have multiple Batmans in the game, so I think we need to get Ace as well. We definitely need two of the most famous superhero dogs in Fortnite. Then speaking of very famous dogs, we got to get Brian from Family Guy. I mean, we got Peter, we got to get his dog in here, and I think it'd be hilarious seeing Brian Griffin running next to you. So there's been a lot of mentions of dogs, not a lot of cats. So a couple that I would like to mention is Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and then Binks from Hocus Pocus. So these would probably be released more around like Four Nightmares time, so maybe like for 2026. But these famous black cats would be awesome to have in the game. Then I couldn't help but mention this character, Ted. Probably shouldn't give him any dialogue, but I think it'd be hilarious to have Ted running with you. I think he'd be a pretty good sidekick. He might want to try to shoot at people though. When I was thinking of collab sidekicks, one of the first movies that came into my mind was The Secret Life of Pets, because I mean, of course, that movie is all about pets, right? So I think it'd be really funny to get Snowball the bunny, Gidget, Chloe, and Norman. 4 different types of pets that I think could be really fun sidekicks. The next is Zero from Nightmare Before Christmas. I know we technically already have Zero in the game, but I think it'd be so much better to have him as a sidekick. Then next would be Wilbur, one of the most famous pigs. Then Buddy from Air Bud, one of the most famous dogs. I mean, he's got like his own movie series. I feel like he'd be well equipped to run around on the island. This next character I mentioned for like skins we need from Warner Bros. Just a few days ago, but it would be Jerry from Tom and Jerry. I do think Jerry would work better as a sidekick and then Tom be the skin, just because Jerry is so small. Yes, they have sized up characters for skins, but sizing up Jerry would be drastically different from some of the others, but I think he could work as a very fun sidekick. I think another good sidekick would be Snoopy from Charlie Brown, one of the most beloved cartoon pets of all time. Now for the next one, I know we're already getting like fish stick in a bowl, but I really want to get Klaus from American Dad. Basically, this is another way of me saying I just really want an American Dad collab in Fortnite. Now I mentioned Scales earlier, and I'm not quite sure if sidekicks will end up flying, but if they do, I think we should definitely get Toothless. I think Toothless would be an awesome sidekick, flying right next to you. Maybe could even land on your shoulder. If not, like I said with Scales, at least bring him into the game and he could just at least run around with us. Then next is Stitch. Gotta get this adorable alien in the game, and I'm gonna talk about this in a little bit, but this could be a good way to bring Disney characters into Fortnite that maybe Disney wouldn't want handling a gun. Now this next one is gonna be a long shot because of Nintendo, but I think Pikachu would be like the best sidekick to have. I mean, he's literally a sidekick. Well, I mean, he's the main character, but he's literally a sidekick in the Pokemon show. Maybe he could be reactive and electricity comes off of him. Like I said though, because of Nintendo, I don't see this happening, but I wanted to throw him out there. Then moving on to Bolt, I mean, he's a superhero dog. I feel like it makes sense to bring him in as a sidekick into Fortnite. And then another sidekick that would probably absolutely put in work would be Perry the Platypus. Perry would probably take over and be better at playing Fortnite than I would. Perry would probably have a 100% win rate. Of course, I would like to get him as a skin, but I think he would work very well as a sidekick. Then next is Mushu from Milan, another dragon that hopefully could fly around, but I think he could work as a sidekick as well, maybe just crawling around. Then the next one is Garfield. Getting this lazy cat to run around might be tough. Might have to throw some lasagna in front of him to get him to move, but he's one of the most like famous pop culture cats, so I feel like he's got to come to the game. Then next is Gary the Snail from SpongeBob. Now he's going to move very, very slow, probably going to meow at you, so you might get a little confused, but I think Gary would be a very funny sidekick to have. The next one would absolutely put in work, and that's going to be Ghost from Game of Thrones. Just a beautiful wolf all around, and I think it'd be fun to have him as a sidekick. Momo from Avatar The Last Airbender. We already have a good amount of characters in the game. Could bring him in as a sidekick whenever they bring those bundles back. Tweety Bird could be one, along with Tinkerbell. They could be kind of small, flying around you. I don't know if that would necessarily work, but I think it'd be interesting to have them as sidekicks. Then the next one is Cat Dog. So you get a cat and a dog in one. 2-for-1 special. You gotta love it. I think it'd be funny to see them fight over who's gonna be leading them as we run through the island. Next is gonna be Scrappy Doo. Even though he's a pain in the butt, because we got Scooby in the gang, I feel like we gotta get Scrappy as a sidekick. Next up is the penguins from Madagascar. Now, of course, there's a lot of Madagascar characters we could get, but I just think the penguins are hilarious, and I think it'd be funny to have penguins just waddling next to you as you're running around the island. Then next would be Dogpool, who we saw in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Just don't let him get close to your face, but other than that, he could be a fun sidekick. And then last for the collabs, Marcel. So this is actually going to be the monkey from Friends. I think it'd be fun to get this collab, especially since I grew up watching the show, and we'll still binge it to this day. Now, like I mentioned, this is a good chance to maybe get some Disney characters that we wouldn't get as skins. They could be sidekicks, because like I said, they probably won't be holding guns. So like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Simba, Stitch is a character I mentioned earlier. I think this is a good opportunity to bring some Disney characters in. Looking forward to seeing how they do that, or if they find a way to let these characters be actual Fortnite skins. And then last for this video, I would just like to see just some normal animals be sidekicks, like an alligator, a tiger, shark, a sloth, maybe an armadillo, a panther, a lion, so on and so forth. Ooh, and a bear. Ooh, and a gorilla. Okay, I need to stop. But as you can see, there are so many opportunities for sidekicks that could be really, really fun. Of course, they're being greedy with the pricing, but I didn't want to focus on that with this video. I would love to see at least like some of these animals, some of these characters make it into the game, because sidekicks do have a big opportunity to be really good cosmetics. But there you have it. Those are my ideas for sidekicks we need in Fortnite. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to join my Discord server, that link is going to be in the description. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.